Here we gather again on the most common ground of communication these days, which is social media. And today, my wish is to inform you of my opinion regarding one of the top health risks that few have ever considered, and may likely surprise you. I am not happy to admit this, but I have witnessed a decline of health and vitality within the public over the past decade, far more than the previous 35 years of owning Nutrition World here in Chattanooga. Assisting clients with their health for 45 years has given me great insight as to the health journeys of so many. I see the decline of health as a combination of lack of exercise, too many processed foods, unhealthy fats such as seed oils, lack of proper nutritional supplementation, insomnia, superpowered pathogens, and environmental toxicity. However, I have witnessed one additional reason for our very poor health that is significantly increasing with the years, which is a quiet ghost in the basement that we should no longer ignore. I had little knowledge of this issue in my first 3 decades of deep study of health and disease, but it is real. Let me assure you of that. This toxin is named chronic fear. I have witnessed the demise of the physical and mental health of thousands of individuals at Nutrition World over my 45 years as I am assisting them with their health. And I'm not referring to the healthy fear built into us for avoiding danger, such as if someone runs a red light in front of you that triggers you slamming the brakes on, or a snake on the ground where you jump back to safety. These emotions of fear are life-saving as they create reactions for you to change something that you are doing at that moment, which can possibly prevent harm to ourselves or someone else. What I am speaking about is the morning to night message in our thinking brains, where each encounter we have defaults us into catastrophizing your future story. Seemingly gone for many of us are the peaceful and positive reactions from perhaps our younger days, where we did not swing from side to side into a fear ditch daily, imagining the worst case scenarios constantly for us. The reasons we are now programmed for such unhealthy fear reactions are the following in my mind. Fear sells. Every media outlet, marketing of disease treatments, health headlines, politics, and even your healthcare professionals will embrace the power of fear to produce profits. Fear has become the weapon of choice on so many fronts of our daily life. We are bombarded from every angle with fear words, energies, and conversations, and it acts much like a virus as to how it hijacks our thoughts and emotions, which filters down to poor health. Sadly, we become so accustomed to wearing a fear suit that it becomes our norm in our daily existence. But how can fear cause disease is a valid question. Let me explain why I am so concerned as to how fear changes our body chemistry to create this devastation to our health. Our bodies are designed with multiple systems that operate our complex chemistry to keep us alive and hopefully healthy daily. And these systems rely on a communication grid that is as vital to us as air traffic control at large airports that prevent disaster in the sky. You know, the medical textbooks explain how these systems maintain life. However, there is one communication system that is poorly accepted by traditional thinkers of health, which is the energetic component. This theory resides in a word known as quantum theory. Quantum theory is based on the behavior of matter at subatomic levels. These are the highest levels of health with people that are young, for example, and vibrating cellular at a much higher rate these young people are than us that are aging. The confused or slower vibrational energies deplete the life force within us that then allows disease and poor health to flourish. Fear is number one of the most impactful emotions that disturb these cellular energies. I so remember 20 years ago when I first connected emotions with displacing our health by reading a book by Dr. Emoto, who was a Japanese researcher who studied what emotions with words actually can do to a water molecule. Dr. Emoto exposed different words from individuals to actual water crystals in photographs that revealed that calming words created a beautiful water crystal similar to a snowflake. We're exposing the water to fear or hatred statements completely change this crystal for a bit of time to sometimes a horrid, scary form. This picture here shows 3 different water molecules and the words that are presented that changed it. Love, thank you, and I hate you. That shows you the difference, what the exposure of those words did. And I remember so well Albert Einstein saying that everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. Keep this in mind that your body is 70% water, and imagine the machine gun fear bullets coming at us nonstop for years that may be changing significant percent of that water. And what this will do is make you far less healthy when we have these crystals. And there is no doubt that it could lessen our health immensely, even in the face of super healthy daily habits such as food and nutrition. Quantifying the body and its blood and cell components in the lifeblood of is the lifeblood of mainstream medical training. This standard of treatment is very important to know for our health, but sadly, fear and emotions impact us equally, but these cannot be measured by any lab. I am certain that we all agree that no lab can test to quantify love or hate or will to live, and especially fear levels. Obviously, we still have much to learn regarding this negative energy in our health. My favorite poet, Mary Oliver, has a line that I have always loved. What wretchedness to believe only in what can be proven. My advice is to realize that fear is embedded within us as a protection from danger, and it is not the devil. The harm comes when we never seem to find our way out of the fear umbrella. Our goal is to return, as we are meant to a safe space of our lives, the safe haven of the present moment, the grounded beauty of nature where we live in this moment rather than catapulted to the past or the unknowns of a future time. Chronic fear can only exist in the fictional snapshots of the unknown future times. Living constantly in the future fear model sends constant panic within our cellular structures, which results in a continual constriction, not unlike a tight rope around our heart. This can destroy our health as quickly as any bad habits that I have witnessed. The philosopher Gurdjieff eloquently stated, if you wish to get out of prison, the first thing you must do is realize that you are in prison. If you think you are free, you cannot escape. I was in the fear prison for decades in my life with zero recognition of that fact. However, soon after I was divorced 10 plus years ago, I slowly woke up and realized how I personally had locked myself into that prison for most of my life, with the key that locked the door was constant fear. In a flash, one day I made a commitment to find the keys that I could allow my eventual escape. Here are the 3 steps that I utilize daily to prevent me from sliding back into my Alcatraz. The acronym B.Y.E, B-Y-E. B is for boldness. Boldness is the power that lessens fear's ability to harm us. I tried for some time to eliminate fear and found that totally impossible, as I believe you would also. Fear is produced not unlike the constant production of saliva within us. The reason this is true is science knows that within our brain is a region called the amygdala. This is the location that is involved with the circuitry of producing fear, so fear is somewhat hardwired within us. The purpose of the amygdala is to keep us alive by reasonable fear reactions, but with our exposure hourly to crisis thinking, we strengthen the amygdala as any muscle we work it becomes more active and stronger. The good news, the conscious cognitive circuitry fortunately contains our ability to produce an emotion I refer to as boldness. This is one part of our thinking ability that instructs the fear from the amygdala to quiet down because I will not allow the fear to rule. Quite similar to the bully on the playground that finally backs down when confronted. The second part of the B.Y.E acronym is Y. Y is for yes. I have repeated this story many hundreds of times to others of how I changed my middle name about 10 years ago when I woke up one single day with the epiphany that I had said the word no to almost all requests, new ideas, learning experiences, social plans, and even foods that I assumed I would dislike. My life changed radically for the positive as each time I felt the no gushing up in my voice, I gritted my teeth and changed the no to a yes. This has truly been the change in itself that was so life-changing for me. And the reason I lived with the no word for decades was back to our ghost, fear. Fear fuels non-action always. I challenge you to a 30-day yes campaign. Say yes whenever you feel that no word about to be spoken from your mouth. Of course, the caveat is to say yes as long as it's not going to be risky or hurt someone else. The third letter of the B.Y.E is E for empower. The word for me is related to self-empowerment through discipline and strengthening my health and body through exercise and nutrition. A 1942 aircraft that I fly has 300 horsepower, but guess how much power it can produce if it never starts? 0. If the engine is not maintained, it will also eventually lose power and stop running. This engine is my body and yours. Maybe it's time to start that engine of yours. And always remember that Nutrition World can be your partner on your journey to health in so many multiple ways. Seneca, the Roman Stoic wise man from 2,000 years ago, wrote regarding the shortness of life. It is not that it is short, he writes in his famous essay, it's that we waste a lot of it. Perhaps the time is now to stop the waste and embrace the change of daily thought patterns regarding the storms of fear that may be compromising your health. I challenge you to simply make a 30-day commitment to my B.Y.E plan, and you will see miracles potentially happen. Thank you so very much from Ed Jones.